Hey there, constitutional scholars and people who definitely didn't Google, what are amendments 5 minutes ago? First up, we have the Big Ten, the Bill of Rights. These bad boys were added because the founding fathers realized, hey, maybe we should write down that the government can't just do whatever they want. Revolutionary concept, I know. Amendment 1 gives us freedom of speech, religion, press, assembly, and the right to complain about the government, which is basically what I'm doing right now. So, thanks, Founding Fathers. You can worship whatever you want, say whatever you want, and gather wherever you want, as long as you're not being a complete menace to society. Amendment 2, the one everyone has opinions about. Right to bear arms, which originally meant, hey, we might need to form militias because we don't trust standing armies, but now means Karen at Walmart can carry a concealed weapon while arguing about expired coupons. Fun fact, when this was written, guns took like 5 minutes to reload, so mass anything was pretty much impossible unless you had the patience of a saint and the planning skills of a military strategist. Amendment 3 says the government can't force you to house soldiers in your home during peacetime. This seems super random now, but back then British soldiers would just show up like, surprise! I live here now, got any snacks? Nowadays, the closest we get is your unemployed cousin crashing on your couch, and sadly there's no constitutional protection against that. Amendment 4 protects against unreasonable searches. Basically, cops can't just barge into your house because they feel like it. They need a warrant or probable cause. This was revolutionary because British authorities used to have general warrants that were basically permission slips to search anyone, anywhere, anytime. It's like having a hall pass that works everywhere forever. Your browser history is probably safer because of this amendment. You're welcome. Amendment 5. You know this one. I plead the fifth. It protects against self-incrimination, double jeopardy, and guarantees due process. You can't be tried for the same crime twice, you don't have to testify against yourself, and the government can't just steamroll you without following proper legal procedures. It's like legal armor, but way less cool looking. Amendment 6 guarantees a speedy and public trial by jury. Back in the day, governments would just throw people in jail and forget about them. Kind of like when you put something in your junk drawer and it disappears into another dimension. This amendment says, nope, you get your day in court, and it better be soonish. Amendment 7 ensures jury trials in civil cases over $20. $20? Nowadays, that's like half a McDonald's meal, but back then it was serious money. Inflation really did a number on this one. Imagine demanding a jury trial because someone owes you the cost of a latte. Amendment 8 prohibits excessive bail and cruel and unusual punishment. The Founding Fathers were like, let's not torture people or bankrupt them just for getting arrested. Pretty reasonable, though what counts as excessive or cruel and unusual is still being debated by people way smarter than my stick figure brain. Amendment 9 says just because some rights aren't specifically listed doesn't mean you don't have them. It's like the constitutional equivalent of and other stuff too. The founders knew they couldn't think of everything, so they added this catch-all. Smart guys terrible at predicting the internet. Amendment 10 gives any powers not specifically given to the federal government, to the states, or the people. It's like dividing chores. If the Constitution doesn't say the federal government has to do it, then states get to figure it out themselves. This is why you can buy fireworks in some states but not others, among many other things. Now we're getting into the later amendments, and boy did things get interesting. Amendment 11 basically says you can't sue states in federal court unless they're cool with it. It's the legal equivalent of, I have immunity, you can't tag me. Amendment 12 fixed the electoral college disaster of 1800 when Thomas Jefferson and Aaron Burr tied for president. Before this, whoever came in second became vice president, which sounds like a recipe for the most awkward administration ever. Now, the president and VP run together as a team, like a political buddy cop movie. Amendment 13, a big one. Abolish slavery except as punishment for crime. This literally changed everything, and it only took a civil war to make it happen. Sometimes I wonder what took so long, then I remember humans are really bad at doing the obviously right thing quickly. Amendment 14 defines citizenship and guarantees equal protection under law. If you're born here, you're a citizen. Boom, done. It also says states can't deny people equal protection, which sounds simple but has been the basis for countless Supreme Court cases. Lawyers love this amendment almost as much as they love billing hours. Amendment 15 says you can't deny voting rights based on race. Revolutionary concept. All male citizens can vote regardless of color. Notice I said male. We'll get to that plot twist later. This amendment had to be enforced by federal troops because apparently some people needed encouragement to follow the Constitution. Amendment 16 gave Congress the power to collect income taxes without worrying about state population. Before this, direct taxes had to be proportional to state populations, which was a mathematical nightmare. Now the IRS can just take your money directly. Progress? Amendment 17 lets people directly elect senators instead of state legislatures choosing them. Democracy. Who knew letting actual voters pick their representatives was a good idea? State legislators were probably devastated to lose this power, like when your parents finally let you pick your own clothes. Amendment 18, Prohibition. Because apparently, the solution to society's problems was to ban alcohol entirely. Spoiler alert, this didn't work at all. It just created speakeasies, organized crime, and really creative ways to hide liquor. Sometimes the road to hell is paved with really good intentions and terrible implementation. Amendment 19 gave women the right to vote. Only took until 1920, which feels embarrassingly late considering we're supposed to be the land of the free. Better late than never, I guess. Shout out to all the suffragettes who fought for this while wearing corsets, because that takes dedication. Amendment 20 moved Inauguration Day from March to January and clarified what happens if the president-elect dies. Because apparently 4 months of lame duck presidency was too long even for 1933. It also deals with various doomsday scenarios that sound boring, but would be absolute chaos if they happened. Amendment 21 repealed. Prohibition, the only amendment to completely cancel another amendment. America basically said, never mind, we want our beer back. This proves that even constitutional amendments aren't immune to buyer's remorse. The fact that they make other amendments instead of simply deleting the old ones is simply hilarious. Amendment 22 limits presidents to 2 terms because apparently FDR was so popular. He kept getting reelected and everyone was like, maybe we should put a cap on this. Now presidents get 8 years maximum to mess things up or fix them, depending on your political perspective. We will see if Trump is going in some way be an exception to this. Amendment 23 gives Washington, D.C. electoral votes for president. The nation's capital finally got a say in who runs the country, which seems like something that should have been obvious from day one. Better late than never strikes again. Amendment 24 eliminated poll taxes for federal elections. Apparently, charging people money to vote was considered a bad thing. Who would have thought that democracy shouldn't have a cover charge? Amendment 25 clarifies presidential succession and what happens if the president becomes incapacitated. It's like a constitutional emergency plan for when things go sideways at the top. Given some of the chaos we've seen, this was probably a good idea. Amendment 26 lowered the voting age to 18 because if you're old enough to get drafted and die for your country, you should probably get a say in who's running it. Makes sense, though. 18-year-olds today are more worried about student loans than military service. So, American teens are trusted about doing the right choices for the future of the country, but not to drink a beer, yay. Amendment 27 says Congress can't give themselves immediate pay raises. Any salary changes only take effect after the next election, so voters get a say in whether their representatives deserve more money. This amendment was actually proposed in 1789 but wasn't ratified until 1992. Talk about a long game, and I think to know why. And there you have it. 27 amendments that turned a decent rough draft into the Constitution we know and occasionally understand today. Some protect freedoms, some fix problems, some were terrible ideas that got reversed, and some are so specific they make you wonder what exactly happened to make them necessary. The amendment process is deliberately difficult because changing the supreme law of the land shouldn't be easier than changing your Netflix password. These amendments represent centuries of Americans arguing about what freedom actually means and occasionally figuring it out. Remember, knowing your constitutional rights is like knowing the rules of the game. It's a lot harder for someone to cheat you if you actually know what you're playing. If you liked the video, please subscribe. See you in the next video.